Chapter 10, The Constitution of India, an Introduction, Question Answers from Grade 7th, Subject Social Science. The big questions. Question 1, what is a constitution and why do we need one? Answer, a constitution is a written document that outlines the fundamental rules, principles, and laws by which a country is governed. It describes the structure of the government, the powers of its institutions, and the rights and responsibilities of citizens. We need a constitution because it ensures that everyone, including the government, follows the same rules. It protects the rights of citizens. It provides a clear framework for resolving disputes. It helps maintain law and order in a fair and just manner. Question 2. How was the Indian Constitution prepared? Answer. The Indian Constitution was prepared by the Constituent Assembly, which was formed in 1946. It had 299 members from different regions, communities, and professions. These members discussed and debated every clause of the Constitution in detail. The Constitution was drafted by a committee headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, influenced by India's rich cultural traditions and democratic values, finalized after nearly 3 years of hard work and thoughtful discussion, adopted on 26 November 1949 and came into effect on 26 January 1950. Question 3. How did our freedom struggle and civilizational heritage influence the Constitution? Answer. India's Constitution reflects the experiences and lessons learned during the long struggle for freedom. Freedom fighters wanted a just, fair, and equal society free from discrimination and colonial rule. Our ancient civilizational values of equality, nonviolence, and justice, respect for diversity and debate, greatly influenced the ideas included in the Constitution. These values were combined with modern democratic ideals to create a unique and inclusive document. Question 4. What are the key features of the Constitution of India? Why is it still relevant even though it was written more than 70 years ago? Answer. Key features. Sovereign. India is free to make its own decisions. Socialist. Focus on reducing inequality. Secular. All religions are respected equally. Democratic. Citizens elect their leaders. Republic. The head of state is elected, not inherited. Justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity, core values for all citizens. The Constitution remains relevant because it provides a strong foundation for democracy. It adapts to changing times through amendments. It protects the rights and dignity of every citizen. It promotes unity in India's diversity. Let's remember page 210. Recall that in grade 6 we saw the meaning of the word constitution, a document that lays down the basic principles and laws of a nation. In small groups of 3, list all the questions that come to your mind about a country's constitution. Answer. Questions we may ask about a country's constitution: who writes the constitution? How are laws made from it? Can the constitution be changed? How does it protect our rights? Who ensures the constitution is followed? Why is it important for all citizens to know the constitution? Let's explore page 211. Imagine that your school has reached the final tournament in Kabaddi at the state level. The opponent is a strong team that has won the tournament 2 years in a row. They are aiming to win a third time, a hat trick. The match is on, and a player from your team has just got one of the players from the other team out. Then a dispute breaks out. The player from the other team insists that she had already crossed into her team area before your team player caught her. The referee has seen that the player from the other team was indeed out. To settle the dispute amicably, she pulls out a little official rule book. The team captains confer with the referee and look at the rules. They then agree that the player was indeed out and your team has won the state level trophy. Discuss in your group what might have happened if there was no official rule book that the referee and the team captains could refer to. What is required to ensure everyone agrees to abide by the rule book? What might happen if the team captains did not agree to refer to the rule book at all? Think of a game that you play often and list the rules you follow. Each group will then present their set of rules to the rest of the class. Listen to each presentation, discuss the rules, and work together to decide on a common set of rules for the game. What challenges do you face in reaching a consensus on rules that everyone agrees with? What could be the rule book for a country? How would it be made? Answer: Kabaddi tournament scenario discussion. Without a rule book, disputes would not be resolved fairly. Players might argue, leading to fights or unfair results. What is required? Everyone must agree that the rule book is final and fair. If captains refuse to accept it, chaos will occur. There will be no way to settle disputes peacefully. Game activity: choose a common game, example Kho, cricket. List basic rules, player turns, scoring, fouls. Discussion teaches importance of agreed rules for fairness. What is a rule book for a country? The constitution is the rule book. How is it made? Through discussion, consensus, and representation of all people, as was done by the Constituent Assembly. Don't miss out page 212. Just as your textbook has many sections and chapters, the Constitution of India has 25 parts and 12 schedules. Each part has sections within it. It is the world's largest written constitution. When it came into effect, it had 22 parts and 8 schedules. You don't need to remember these numbers. But can you guess why they have increased since 1950? Answer: the Constitution of India is very detailed. It started with 22 parts and 8 schedules and now has 25 parts and 12 schedules. This increase happened because as India has grown, new problems and new ideas have come up. To handle these changes, the Constitution was updated so that it could better address the needs of the people and the challenges of a modern society. Let's explore page 215. In small groups, try to find out the names of people from your region who may have participated in the making of the constitution. What sources can you use to gather this information? Answer: for Delhi region, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, President of the Constituent Assembly; Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, educationist and freedom fighter. Students should find specific regional members based on their area. So friends, this is the example for Delhi region. If you live in another state, you have to write the answer according to that state. If you don't get the answer, then kindly comment in the comment box. I will write it for you. Let's explore page 221. Read the quotation given below. Which article of the Constitution do you think she was referring to? Why do you think she said that the equality of women was not a new concept for India? Discuss in the class. So friends, you can pause the video and read it. Now let's see the answer. Quotation by Begum Azaz Rasool. This refers to Article 14 and Article 15 of the Constitution. Article 14, equality before the law. Article 15, prohibition of discrimination based on religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Begum Azaz Rasool said equality of women is not new to India because Indian culture has long respected women as equals. Though this was not always followed in practice, the Constitution legally assured these rights again. Let's explore page 223. Can you find out the amendments made to the Constitution in the past 10 years? Answer: recent amendments to the Constitution past 10 years. 104th Amendment 2019 ended the provision for Anglo-Indian representation in Lok Sabha and state assemblies. 103rd Amendment 2019 introduced a 10% reservation for economically weaker sections (EWS) in jobs and education. 102nd Amendment 2018 gave constitutional status to the National Commission for Backward Classes (NCBC). Let's explore page 226. Below is the list of features given in the preamble. Read them closely from the image above and write down examples of the application of these values in daily life around you. Two have been completed to help you with the exercise. Feature of the preamble: how we see them in our daily lives. Secular: a person does not have to take permission from the state to practice the rituals of their religion if the practice does not interfere with anyone else's day to day life. Justice: the state provides equal opportunity to all in jobs, regardless of gender, caste, religion, etc. Sovereign: our country is managed by the people. For example, local government bodies at your school or community help make decisions that affect everyone. Republic: the head of the state is elected rather than being born into power. Just like class leaders are chosen by the students, our leaders are chosen by the people. Liberty: you have the freedom to share your ideas and choose your interests as long as they do not harm others. Equality: whether in classroom activities or sports, every student has the opportunity to participate and succeed without discrimination. Fraternity: there is a sense of community and brotherhood where people help each other out, much like friends working together on a group project. Questions and activities. Question 1: the Constituent Assembly had representatives from diverse backgrounds in India. Why do you think it was important to have a diverse set of representatives from all over India? Answer: it was important to include people from different regions, religions, caste, languages, and professions in the Constituent Assembly because India is a diverse country with many cultures, communities, and traditions. Everyone's needs, problems, and aspirations needed to be understood and represented fairly. It ensured the Constitution was inclusive, not just made by a few privileged people. It promoted unity in diversity, a core value of India. A diverse assembly helped create a constitution that respected every citizen, whether rich or poor, from any background. Question 2: read the statements below carefully and identify which key features, values in the Constitution of India are reflected in each statement. A. Sheena, Rajat, and Harsh are standing in a line. They are excited to cast their first vote in the general elections. Answer: democracy. This reflects the principle of universal adult franchise, where every adult has the right to vote. B. Radha, Imon, and Harpreet study in the same class in the same school. Equality. All children have equal access to education, regardless of gender, religion, or background. C. Parents must make arrangements to ensure their children's education. Answer: fundamental duties. The Constitution lists duties of citizens, including providing education to children, Article 51A. D. People of all castes, genders, and religions can use the village well. Right to equality. Everyone is treated equally in public spaces. No one can be denied access based on caste or religion. Question 3. It is said that all citizens in India are equal before the law. Do you think this is a fact? If yes, why? If not, why not? Formulate your arguments. Answer: according to our constitution, every person in India should be treated fairly and equally by the law, regardless of their background, wealth, or social status. Ideally, this means that everyone is equal before the law. For example, whether someone is rich or poor, famous or unknown, they all have the same rights and responsibilities when it comes to legal matters. However, in real life, sometimes there can be challenges or biases that prevent perfect equality. Even though our constitution clearly states that everyone should be equal, sometimes differences in treatment may occur due to social or economic issues. The goal is always to work toward this ideal, and our courts and governments strive to uphold this equality. Question 4. You have learnt that India is the only country that provided universal adult franchise to its citizens from the beginning. Can you explain why India did it? Answer: India adopted universal adult franchise right to vote for all adults aged 18 and above from the start because The freedom struggle taught us that everyone's voice matters. Indian leaders believed in true democracy, where all citizens are equal regardless of caste, gender, or wealth. Unlike many countries, India gave voting rights to all, not just the educated or rich. This decision showed our belief in people's power and equality, even though India was poor and mostly illiterate in 1950. Question 5. How did the freedom struggle inspire the making of the Constitution of India? How did India's civilizational heritage inspire some of the key features in the Constitution of India? Explain. Answer. Freedom struggle inspiration. Leaders like Gandhi, Nehru, Ambedkar fought against injustice, inequality, and colonial rule. They wanted freedom with equality, not just political independence. So, the constitution included rights like freedom of speech, equality, and justice, civilizational heritage inspiration, Indian culture values nonviolence, respect for diversity, unity, and discussion. Ancient texts and practices reflected democratic ideas such as village assemblies, sabhas. These ideas shaped features like secularism, tolerance, and equal respect for all religions. Question 6. Do you think we as a society have achieved all the ideals of the Constitution? If not, what can we each do as citizens to move our country closer to these ideals? Answer. No, we haven't fully achieved them. Issues that still exist: discrimination, caste, religion, gender, poverty and inequality, corruption, violence, and lack of respect for others' views. What we can do as citizens: follow the law and respect others' rights, stand against injustice and speak up when someone is treated unfairly, vote wisely and participate in democracy, educate ourselves and others about our rights and duties, promote unity, peace, and respect for all. If every citizen does their part, India can come closer to achieving the vision of the Constitution. Question 7. Read the clues carefully to solve the crossword on the next page to uncover important concepts from the Indian Constitution. So friends, I have written answers of the questions given across and down. Let's see the answers. The branch of government that makes laws, legislature. The part of the Constitution that outlines the duty of citizens towards the country, fundamental duties. 8th, the highest court in India that protects the Constitution, Supreme Court. 9th, a system where the head of state is elected, not hereditary, Republic. 10th, the process by which the Constitution can be changed over time, amendment. First, the group of people who wrote the Indian Constitution, Constituent Assembly. Okay. Third, the statement at the beginning of the Constitution that tells us the values it upholds, preamble. Fourth, the document that lays out the rules and laws of a country, Constitution. Fifth, the gas used to preserve the original Constitution safely, helium. Sixth, basic rights given to every citizen like freedom and equality, fundamental rights. So friends, these are the boxes as you can see. But there is error in first. As you can see, I have to write C above. So there should be another box upward and this box is null. Okay. So this is the error. So you can see and match the answers like Constituent Assembly, Legislature, Preamble, Fundamental Duties, Helium, Fundamental Rights, Supreme Court, Republic, Amendment, Constitution. So friends, you can pause the video and note it down. So friends, we have completed all these question answers. From chapter 10, the Constitution of India and Introduction. We have already studied the short notes and summary of this chapter. You can find the link in the description and on the screen. If you like the video, kindly like it and share it with your friends. Also subscribe to my channel. We will meet in the next video. Thank you for watching.